All right, we're ready to go. So it's Friday, getting ready for the weekend. So we'll just let go of the week this morning. Oh, such intensity. I think the Schumann resonance was pretty high this past week, and if you're sensitive to that, that's the Earth's heartbeat. I mean, that's an oversimplification, but basically it's the Earth's heartbeat, and sensitive people are susceptible to those vibrations. So anyway, we'll just allow ourselves to come into a more relaxed state. Just letting go. If you want to close your eyes, we'll start to center here and kind of pull ourselves together. Coming in out of the intensity, the chaos, from the outer environment to the inner. So first, just imagine the lotus flower sitting on top of your head, facing upwards towards the sun. And then above that, a funnel shape of golden energy coming down, opening the flower, opening your crown chakra, and allowing that golden energy to come into your body, swirl it inside and out, bringing light to all your cells. Bringing your own brilliance to light. All the cracks and crevices in and amongst your organs, swirl that golden energy. Golden like gold coins, or sometimes if you think of the Egyptian artwork, you see gold like Tutankhamun's headdress, that gold, shiny and sparkly, letting that circulate all around you. Lifting your vibration, lifting your spirits, opening your heart center. And you can leave that funnel there, letting that golden energy just shine on into you throughout the whole practice this morning. And then bring your focus to your breathing and just follow your breath a few rounds and notice how it's going for you. Feel the movement of your abdomen expanding and relaxing as you breathe. Notice if there are any glitches in your breathing. And then you may have already noticed some sensitivities in your body today, but just run a little scan from head to toe, and you can make some micro moves to check in with your muscles and joints and see what's going on, what needs attention and healing. So just bring your arms to your sides. We'll attune to breath, just breathing arms up overhead with a full deep breath. And then open out with a long exhale, extending the relaxation part of the breath and repeating a few rounds. And one more round. Breathe. Moving with the breath. And then relaxing your hands. Just start with your neck, and we'll let our chin come down to our chest. Just let your shoulders relax. Now, just like your serpentine shoulders that we do, take your head and take one ear forward and then the other with your head down. It gives you a little stretch in the sides of your neck, those scalene muscles, and can pull your trapezius muscles into a stretch. And then just turn your head side to side, taking your nose like a pendulum, still with your head forward. Let your shoulders drop away. And then pointing your nose towards the floor. And now we'll take our ear over to shoulder, either direction, and circle around slowly, being considerate of your vulnerable neck area, your spine, your throat chakra gets some stimulation here. And then reverse your circles. And then come forward with your chin down towards your chest. And then lift your head and take it back. Lift your chin, lift your heart center, lift your ribs. Just a little bit of an arch in your back. Just approaching an arch, and then forward. And then lift your chin once again. Breathe. Exhale forward. This time, as you lift your head, lift your shoulders as well. Inhale. press your head back, squeeze, contract those muscles in your shoulders and your neck. And then release your shoulders, release your chin towards your chest. And again, inhale, lift your chin, lift your shoulders. Squeeze. And again, release your shoulders, chin forward. And another deep breath. This will be our last one of these contractions. Lift your shoulders up. Now, while you're pressing your head back, you can emphasize each side. Just press one side of your neck to your shoulder, then the other. Gives you a little extra contraction, grabbing any tension that might be stuck deep inside. And then let your shoulders down, head just pointing forward, and start to circle around in your shoulders. And reverse. Okay. And just some gentle twists. We're just going to barely touch the edge, just loosening up, bringing some circulation into your spine, opening. And then just bring your feet onto the floor, knees vertical, wherever is comfortable, but feet and knees together if they'll stay. And bring your right hand holding your left knee or thigh, and then scoop your left arm forward, inhale up, and just come around into a twist, holding onto your legs. Use your arms here. Press your palm down, and you want your palm close to your hips and back. Look over your left shoulder and work towards your edge. Lift tall and breathe your deep breaths. That will expand your ribs and further open your torso. Now press down in your sitting bones and breathe as you lift your left arm up towards your ear and then come around to the front and just wrap that arm around your legs and scoop your right arm forward. Breathe as you lift and open to the side. Bring your arm down behind you, palm or fingertips, whatever works. And look over your right shoulder here. Notice if this side is tighter or looser than the other side. And now press down in your sitting bones and breathe your right arm up next to your ear. And return to center. And separate your feet, just a couple of cat stretches to work out the toxins that we just kind of released in our twist. So reach up through your crown. Inhale that lotus flower up to the sun. Breathe your deep breath and exhale, rounding and pulling away from your knees. And then inhale and scoop your heart center forward and up into an arch. Lift your chin. Moving with your breath. One more round. Okay, and coming back to center. Now we'll come down onto our backs for a little ab work here. So just coming down. First of all, just lift your arms up. Breathe a deep breath. Lift your arms up overhead and just stretch long. Flex and point your toes. Flex your feet and point. Reach through your fingers. Draw your low back down onto the floor. And now we're going to reach on the diagonal. So right hand and left leg, just pull away from your torso. Stretch. And then left arm, right leg. All right. And then take a deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your arms to your sides. Okay. So just lift your knees, then lift your feet up to the ceiling. And while you're up here, just take your big toes and tap them together, then tap your heels and toes and heels and toes. All right. And circle around a couple times each direction. All right. Now, become aware of your navel area and your abdomen, and just draw those muscles down so you're pressing your back into the mat. Relax your jaw. Now, we're just going to roll our hips up, hold, and roll back down. So you want to engage your core muscles there, your abdomen. Press down in your arms and roll up and down. You won't go far. It's not about that. It's more about engaging those core muscles. Lift, mm, 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 and down. And lift. This is also a little bit of a workout for your arms. I can feel it there. Breathe and lift. All right, and one more. Lift. See if you can hold, 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 and let it back down. Okay. Bend both your knees. Just draw them into your chest. And now, holding on to both legs, take in a breath. And pull your legs in, but resist. Press your knees into your hands and resist. And release. Take in another breath. Pull your knees in, but resist. I just happened to find this working with my own psoas muscles. So it's called PNF actually, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. PNF, that's why they abbreviate it. But it kind of warms up those psoas muscles and loosens them. One more time, press your knees away, but hold your knees in. All right, good. Now release your arms. You can circle around in your wrists if you need to. Bring some energy down into your fingers. Now lift your legs. Lift your body up. Just come up a little further now. Now this is not necessarily for your abs. We're just getting loosened up for a half shoulder stand, okay? All right, so we're going to kick up, lift your hips, come up onto your shoulders a little bit more, and bring your palms under your hip bones. Let your hip bones settle into your palms and relax with your feet right about above your nose. And you can take your legs out to the side for a passive stretch. And you can bring them up. And then as though you were going to go into a split, take one leg back and one leg forward and switch. And then come back up. Now this is optional. If you're warmed up enough, you can let your legs come right down to the floor, feet overhead, but support your low back until your feet touch the floor. Okay? Come up a little more on your shoulders. You can also bend your knees next to your ears, since we haven't stretched out our legs much. So you can come in and out of that stretch, bend your knees and straighten. And then support your sacrum once again and lift one leg and then the other back into half shoulder stand. Bend your knees and just softly let your body land. Come in for a landing, engage your core, and come down one piece at a time. Bring your hands onto the floor and then release. Okay, now hold on to your ankles, reach for your ankles, bring your feet down onto the floor, and just stretch your knees forward down to the floor, giving a stretch in your thighs. So if your thighs feel a little bit tight, just breathe into them. Take your breath into the thigh muscles, all those quadriceps. Those are the largest muscle group in the body. So you need a big breath for those. And then stretch it down and hold the stretch. Maybe come in and out just a little pulsing. And then switch legs. And see if one leg is tighter than the other. Just awareness of where your body's at, what's happening. Sometimes we get a little imbalance, but yoga brings us back into balance. Now, after having stretched both knees down, lift both knees and then bring both of them in as though you want to bring them to the floor. They won't go to the floor unless you're really limber this morning, but just bring them in. It's a kind of an unusual stretch. And then release. Bring your feet together. Walk your feet out a little ways. So knees are bent. Lift your arms just slightly off the floor. Let your palms face your hips. Take in a breath. Exhale, lift your head and reach your fingertips towards your ankles. Lift up. If you need to use your arms, so be it, but just come up into sitting. All right. And we'll swing our legs around and come into our puppy stretch. Loosen up in your shoulders. All right, and we'll lift up onto hands and knees. And start with a deep breath. Bring your left knee in towards your nose. Just curl in on yourself. And inhale, stretch your leg out behind you. Lift your chin. Deep breath. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, take it out. One more on this side. Exhale it in. Now hold the exhale. Hold your knee towards your nose. See if you can get closer and closer. And then stretch it out behind you. Flex your foot and bring the ball of your foot on the floor and just press your heel away. Stretching your calf muscle. You can come up onto your toes, back and forth. Stretch away. Okay, now lift that leg. That'd be your left leg. And for our tiger stretch, reach through your right arm. So coming into the diagonal, parallel to the floor, you can look down or you can look over your fingertips. Either way. Bring your hips so they're both pointing towards the earth. Take your arm and your leg out to the side. See if you can stay parallel to the earth. Lift and come back into tiger. Release arm and leg. Pull back into puppy once again. And we'll come back up onto hands and knees. I'm losing my headset here. There we go. Okay, so taking in your deep breath. Exhale your right knee in towards your nose. And inhale, take the leg behind you. Exhale in. Inhale. Exhale in. Inhale out. One more. Exhale in and hold the knee. Contract in your abdomen. And stretch the leg out behind you. Flex your foot and bring the ball of your foot down. Stretch your calf as you press your heel away. Okay. And then lift the back leg and then slide your left arm out into tiger. Reach. Try to stay parallel to the floor if you can. Take in a breath. And take arm and leg out to the side. And come back to tiger. And lower down. Pull back into puppy. And then lift back up onto hands and knees. And one more movement in table pose before we head into our downward facing dog. Just lift your left leg up, but keep the knee bent. I'll turn to the side so those who aren't familiar with this can see. So you're bending your knee and you're just going to pulse like you're pounding or stomping on the ceiling. Notice the muscles you're using for this. And then stretch the leg out. Just give it a couple of swings side to side, loosening up in your hip. And bring your knee back, and we'll work with the other side. So right leg up, bend your knee, and stomp on the ceiling a few times. Keep your breath flowing. And then stretch your leg out and just swing it side to side a couple of times. Loosening up in the hip. And come back onto hands and knees. And now we'll go up into our downward facing dog. So turn your toes under and press up. See how your calf muscles feel after the stretch you did earlier. Stretch your heels down. And just take a little rest here. Let your knees down. If you need to circle around in your wrists after being in flexion, you can do that. Bring the energy down into your fingers. And then lift back up into your downward facing dog and see how it feels second time around. Engage your core muscles, lift up. Now, as a further stretch, press down on your right palm very firmly, and then take your left hand and reach for your right leg. Turn and look up under your arm. Stretch. And release. Place your palm on the mat, and then other side. Press down firmly on your left hand.
Reach for your right ankle or your left ankle. And look up under your arm, your torso. And then bring your palm back. Let's come into an upward facing dog. So just bring your hips forward, come onto the tops of your feet. The legs are not on the floor. Bring your chest through, lift your chin. Roll up and over the toes, back into downward dog. Up dog. Tops of the feet. Legs are engaged, hips are engaged. Lift. And then up and over your toes, back into down dog. And just walk your feet in towards your hands, hands back towards your feet, hang in ragdoll or head to knee pose. And soften your knees. Bring your arms back by your hips. Adjust your shoulders, pull away from your ears. Separate your feet, just hip width apart for a chair pose, and bring your arms out to the side as you lift your torso up, knees still bent, bring arms overhead. Reach. And bring palms in together into Anjali Mudra for a chair twist. So bend your knees a little deeper. Bring your right elbow outside your left knee. Knees stay over the ankles. Press into a twist. See if you can twist far enough that your hands and heart center touch. And come around to center. We'll just go directly to the other side. Elbow against the knee. Over to the side. Come back to center. Push the floor away. Come up into a standing salute or back bend. Reach up. Engage hips and thighs. Lift up out of your hips. Lift your ribs and go to the back. Come back to center. Palms over your heart. And just kind of adjust to being upright, working more against gravity. Good job. Just feel the sensations in your body from your workout so far. And become aware of that funnel of golden energy coming into your body again, filling you up. Good posture. Draw your tummy in and up. And then just come to the back of your mat
and take in a breath. Soften your knees and just step forward with your left leg, coming out into warrior one legs. Press through the back heel, lift in your ribs, and breathe arms up overhead. You can either keep your palms together or separate your arms, whichever is best for you. It's a little more challenging when you have your arms together, your palms together. So determine what level of challenge you want for yourself today. And look up towards the ceiling. Bring your palms in. We'll come into another prayer twist, this time in our warrior one legs. So just bring your right elbow down, press and twist. Come back to center, lift back up, and then pull back. We're going to step in the back leg instead of pressing back. That's kind of a distance to push off going back. So just come back towards the back end of your mat once again. Palms together. Take in a normalizing deep breath. And soften your knees. Take in another breath and step forward with your right leg into your warrior one. Lift up in the ribs, the crown. And breathe arms up overhead in whatever configuration you want for yourself today. Point your hip bones forward. And then bring your palms down for our twisting in warrior one, our prayer twist. So just bring your left elbow down. Press into your twist. And release. Press back up, pull back in the front knee, and step in. Ground into the earth through the soles of your feet. Release your arms, shake them out. And separate your feet, come into a standing twist just to let go a little bit more. Breathe. And come back to center. Into Tadasana. Now, just close your eyes for a moment and feel your body. Ground your feet into the earth. Just imagine the crystalline grid way down in the earth. You can imagine a little energetic hook hooking onto the crystals to keep you grounded. And then lift your energy up through your body. Lift your toes. Separate your toes. Set them down one at a time, starting with the pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, lift your toes. Separate them out. Pinky toe.
through all 5 toes. Good. Now continue lifting in your body. Lift up. Let your shoulder blades come down your back. Okay, so now you can either turn your mat or turn yourself on your mat, but separate your feet out to the side. Now turn your heels in for goddess pose or horse pose. Toes are out about 45 degrees. Take in your breath. Exhale, bend your knees, open them out. Just keep pressing them out towards the back. Bring palms in. And we'll come up, but squeeze your legs. Keep the knees pressing out, but squeeze in isometrically. Lift. Take in another breath. Exhale, open the knees out. And just come down lower and lower, opening the hip joints, stretching the inner thigh. And press down in your feet firmly and squeeze the legs together. All right. Turn out your left foot we're getting ready for Trikonasana, triangle. Your right heel is turned out, but hips are forward. And just breathe arms out to the side. Take in a breath and a little vinyasa to loosen up a little bit more before we go in. So coming out into warrior 2, breathe it in, exhale out. Just get used to what stance you want to use for your triangle, Trikonasana. Come into a rather deep warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Lift in your tummy. Keep opening that left knee. Now inhale the knee in. Exhale, tilt your hips, press down in that front hip and reach out. Shoulders and hips pointing forward. Go down as far as you can. And then switch your arms and press on your leg for leverage. Look up. Keep opening the back hip. Feel that stretch. Now bring that top arm down and just grab hold of your thigh or your hip and look up. Legs are engaged here. And then bring that right arm out. Take it over your head. Lift it back up to triangle. And then inhale, reach, press down on your feet, lift up. Come back into your warrior 2. And we'll switch to the other side. Left heel presses out slightly. Take in your breath and come out into warrior 2 and vinyasa, a few moves to loosen up. And come out into a rather deep warrior 2, gazing over your fingertips towards the horizon.
Now breathe as you bring the knee back. Exhale as you reach forward. Press down in that front hip, hinging. Reach out. Lower down with your body. And then switch your arms. Look up. So you want a nice long line from your tailbone to your crown. Shoulders over your knee. And then bring that top arm, your left arm, down and around. Reach for your hip. Open the shoulder, look up. And then lift your arm up, breathe, and then over next to your ear, nice long line. Really press your feet down. And then lift it up. Inhale, reach up, and come out back into your warrior two. And then inhale, come back in. Relax your arms. All toes turned in slightly, heels out for a forward fold. You can either bring your arms out and hinge forward, or you can slide your hands down your legs. Your choice, but tilt your hips up and feel that luscious stretch on your legs as you lower down. Now bring your palms onto the floor in line with your face or your shoulders, and lift up onto your fingertips. Tilt your tailbone up, lift your chin into monkey pose. Breathe. Exhale, back into your stretch. Go a little deeper if you can. Inhale, lift onto fingertips, lift your chin, tailbone up, and into your stretch. Last time, monkey. Lift, inhale. And exhale, come into your stretch. If you want to hold on to your ankles, you can do that. And no, just bring your palms onto the floor. Press down on your left foot. Bring your right foot over and just bring your hips down onto the floor. And we'll come into a little deeper twist, stretching a little deeper than we did in the beginning. So for this one, make sure both sitting bones are on the mat. You don't want to sit on that right heel. Your left leg, the foot can be in front of your knee, just beyond your knee, or beyond your thigh. Just adjust so that you can get both sitting bones down. Stretch your knee across towards the diagonal shoulder. And hold on with your right hand or arm and lift your left arm up. Bring your fingers into mudra. Reach up, lift up through your crown. Hold on with your right arm and come around into your twist. Release the mudra.
Now press down in your ischial tuberosities, your sitting bones, and breathe your left arm up towards your ear and come around to the front. Now for a 4 square, we have just enough time to work one of these in on each side. So let that lower foot out. Now your left leg, this is optional depending on how you're feeling with your flexibility in your hips this morning. You can come into rocking the baby if you wish. Just stay tall in your spine. You can also bring the foot into the bend of your elbow and just bring your leg in a little closer to you like you're holding a baby. Flex the foot that you're holding. And then if you want to come into a full 4 square, just bring the ankle down onto your thigh. Lift in your crown. Also optional is to bend forward. So to do that, you reach up through your crown, you're going to hinge forward in your hips, leading with the chest. So try not to let the back round if you can, so that you receive the benefit in the hips. Breathe and relax into your stretch. And then press down in your legs and hips and lift back up. And we're just going to switch sides for the twist and then the 4 square. Coming into your version of the twist. Lift in your spine, draw your knee towards the opposite shoulder. And then holding on, scoop your right arm out and up. Come into mudra, either index finger and thumb or second finger and thumb. Reach up and then come around. Exhale the palm onto the floor near your hip. Release the mudra and come around into your twist. Now press your sitting bones down. Breathe your right arm up to your ear. And exhale, coming around to the front. And pick up your baby. Rocking your baby with a flexed foot. You can also bring the foot into the bend of your elbow, but lift up. Bring your leg up to your torso, not your torso towards your leg. And then, of course, optional is a full 4 square with your ankle on the knee. Ideally, you want your legs parallel. Some days that happens and some days maybe not. But just coming in for your stretch.
Also optional is bending forward. Sometimes even this is just enough of a stretch for yourself. So you determine your level of stretch today. Breathing, lift, and exhale forward. Remember to flex your foot. And now press down in your hips and legs, lift back up, and unfold your legs. You can just bring your hands back and slide your legs out. Roll your hips side to side. Just let everything be loose. Move out any toxins, any debris in there. And you're all ready for Shavasana. All you have to do is separate your feet a little bit, roll your back down onto the mat, turn your palms up, roll your hips under, roll your shoulder blades under, a nice long line. Grounded, you have your energy hooked into the crystalline grid. You have your funnel above you, lifting your energy and bringing golden light into your body. And let it all go now. The work is done. Let yourself relax here. Give yourself the gift of relaxation. You deserve that gift. We all need it. We all deserve it. Leos and Libras alike. Sink down like you're lying on a beach in the sand. You feel the coolness where the sand has moved to make way for your body. And feel the sun's warmth beaming down on you just overhead. Relax your jaw and your face, your back, your hips, your legs. Go deeper and deeper. So deep that you can put a little kiss on the cheek of God. And now bring yourself forward back into your body, still connected to your spirit side and the divine. Just coming back and aware of your body in the physical realm. And just bring some movement into your fingers, just little moves. Maybe take your head side to side. Slide your feet together and lift your knees to your chest. And come over onto your side and press up into sitting. Pema Chodron, she's a Buddhist nun, says, "You are the sky, everything else is the weather." Expansive, open, with some weather around, and that's okay. Bring your hands into mudra, thumb and middle finger, just for a moment to seal the benefits of your practice, your connections, your energy, the light that you've drawn in. And then bring palms to prayer hands, honoring the divine within you and the divine in everyone else. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.